Good morning, everyone. It's Friday. We're so glad to have you here. We've got a guest on the show today, McKendra.
Instant in season.
Just got to go with it. I love it. No, we're teasing. We're teasing McKendra. She was talking and just went
It's
live.
Friday.
Friday.
Yes, we've got.
What do we have, Johnny?
Yeah, we've got Danielle in the house, not on the stream, in the house. Hi. We've got Brooklyn and we've got Kiki.
Yeah.
So we've had a good morning.
And we still have our children,
Do
but
we?
they're asleep. Yeah.
They're upstairs.
Yeah.
Sawing logs.
Sean Logs.
I guess I get it, but it's a little odd.
What do you mean? What do you
Sawing
mean you
logs,
get
like
it?
It's indicating that you sound like you're sawing logs.
Oh,
Have you ever seen a
that'd be more appropriate.
tree
You ever see a tree
on the ground?
on the ground? Well, yeah, I have. Dude, that was funny.
That was funny. How's everybody doing? Are you sluggish this Friday? Are you ready for the weekend? Hey, better question. How's your allergies? Because mine are not so good.
Oh my gosh. Art, really?
Yeah, something has bloomed that doesn't like me.
I'm surprised it's even alive.
I know. I know, right? Everything is fried.
I know what your problem is. I know exactly what your problem is. You got in the flower bed yesterday.
I did.
Hacking and cutting, and now you're hacking.
Yeah.
Like, that's easy.
It's
Easy
true.
peasy.
I got tired of not seeing out my windows because of the jungle that is outside. I'm still not done.
You're like really on a mission too.
I
Like, I don't know, you just like out of nowhere, you just
I'm
woke
living
up
life
and you're
to my-
like, I'm going to make my curb appeal
I'm gonna make
awesome.
I'm gonna make your mama proud.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Trying to make Mother Teresa proud.
And Father Gary.
Father. I always call him Padre.
Yeah. You know, hey,
Padre.
let me say this. Let me start out this way while people are coming in. I want to tell a story, okay?
Story time.
Story time. So yesterday morning after the show, I got to doing some yard work and stuff and realized that I've got to have a hedge trimmer because there's so much that needs to be trimmed and we're going to need it anyway. So I'm just going to go to the hardware store, get it. So I went bougie and I got one of those electric hedge trimmers with the battery. But I noticed when I went back there, everything was locked up. You had to have keys and ask somebody. So, which was fine. I got a hold of somebody and she had told me, she was like, yeah, we have to lock these up because so many people steal them. I'm like, are you serious? She said, oh yeah, they'll steal them. They'll get the batteries out of them. It's awful.
I legit saw somebody one day walk out with a bunch of weed eaters, and he was just
running.
strolling.
Yeah, just
strolling
so they'll reach into the boxes to get the batteries, and so they have to check the boxes frequently. So she got me what I needed, and I bought it, and I was with my mom. So we came back home, opened it up, getting ready to charge the battery. Lo and behold, there's no battery. So I had to load back up in the car, go back to Home Depot. But when I went there, I'm waiting at customer service, and there's a bit of a line. And I noticed this guy in front of me, and he is so angry dealing with his, I guess a return or something. And he is so angry. And I could tell, he was just yelling and disgruntled. And making accusations, you guys think I'm stealing. You guys think I'm, and I could tell that those accusations weren't true because by the way that it was a younger girl and an older woman that was helping him. And so I could tell that they were not making those accusations because they were both stunned. They were just like, we're just trying to, And anytime she would try to speak, you stop talking, stop. You will listen to me. You're not going to talk anymore. You stop talking. It was just demeaning, degrading. It was horrible. And it broke my heart sitting in line. I was just like, what is happening right now?
Right.
And so then they open up another lane there, and they work on my issue. And so this is another lady entirely, but everybody can hear what's going on. He's not being discreet whatsoever. And so I looked at her, and she said, how can I help you? And I explained to her my situation, and there's not a battery in here. Oh, I'm so sorry. People are taking these. I said, I heard. That's awful. I said, I'm sure you've had a rough day. I said, between thievery and disgruntledness. But anyway, so she ends up working on my issue. She goes to find a battery. While I'm there, I find out that apparently the workers are taking the batteries out of the boxes and keeping it in a safe, locked up place at customer service so that people don't steal those batteries. So whoever it was that got me that box had forgot to mention that, and so I didn't get my battery. I could have just as easily been as disgruntled as this person was, right? I could have looked at that situation and said,
you're just a little
you drove me. I had to go all the way home and figure this out, right? But you know what? It's fine. It is what it is. I'm sitting here, and there's two poor women that are about in tears because of this guy that is, just being so demeaning. So finally, when they're still working on getting my battery, and he's done. He leaves, and you can feel the tension in that customer service section. You can just feel the tension. Everybody was just on. I just spoke up and I said, hey guys, hey everyone, customer service. And they turned around and looked at me.
Newsflash.
And I said, I just want to let each and every one of you know that you're doing a fantastic job. And so the two ladies that were dealing with him, one of them, she said, thank you so much. She said, he about gave me a heart attack. I didn't know. He was telling, I thought he was stealing. I didn't think he was stealing. I didn't even know how to process. I said, you know what? Some people project their insecurities and their power struggles onto other people. I said, and we just witnessed that firsthand. But every one of you showed up to work today to do a good job and to make money for yourself and your family. And for that, you deserve encouragement. You're doing a fantastic job. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm not saying that because, oh, look at me. I'm just saying that to hopefully spread a little bit of kindness infection. Just be kind to somebody. You know, if you see that somebody needs it, it's not that hard. And let me tell you something. Do you want to know how to make your day brighter? Do something kind for somebody else, because I felt better after that. I got in the car and I was like, I feel so, because you know what? Maybe that was a God thing for me. Maybe I had to come back here. If I hadn't had, you know, if I had my battery out and never went back, I would have never been able to be an encouragement to somebody. And who knows how desperately they needed it. Who knows? So yeah.
It must have been in the air yesterday.
Really? You had it too?
Well, you remember what I told you about? So maybe I didn't tell you this. So I play basketball Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mm-hmm. And yesterday I only got in one game because the second game, like, they were kind of got like arguey. And then at the very end of it, the kind of the leader of the group literally had to hold the ball and try to help people calm down. Like, they literally spent 10 minutes just fussing, fighting, and then people that were waiting to get into the game started putting their 2 cents in, which was incorrect. I mean, it was a disaster, and I literally come onto the court to just try to be like, hey, real quick, quick question, like hang on, guys, let's focus on the game, right? But I mean, he's I want to clarify. He's not old. He's older than me. And it bothered me so bad because there were guys that were fussing at him to say, check the ball. And he's like, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to treat each other this way. Let's calm down. Let's talk this out for a second. They're like, I'm not here to listen to you. I'm here to play ball. I don't want to hear anything you have to say. Like, in that moment, when we had reached that point of disrespect, I was like, bro,
yeah,
we're in a bad spot. And funny enough, I got his number and called him yesterday to just say, dude, what you did was right.
Wow.
I appreciate you doing that. Like, but to your point, I did that because I know what he did was not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's literally looking at a sea of, and I even stepped out there with him because I was like, this is not right, Mm-hmm. But he told me, he said, yeah, this got a little out of control.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's going to make things look like or what, but I don't know. You think everyone's just hot and mad?
Maybe.
I think everyone's just like hot and.
But what would happen if, I think there's a lot of kindness out there. There's a lot of good people out there that. Maybe you agree with somebody, right? Like, but you don't necessarily say it. And I'm not saying do something that would cause a bigger conflict.
No, yeah.
Like, for instance, like, I encouraged those people after he left.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, he's fired up. God only knows what he's going through, right?
Don't pour gas on that fire.
Exactly. Like, I'm not trying to make him look like an idiot. I'm not trying to start a fight with him. Nothing. I waited till he was out of the picture, and I was an encouragement. You can do that. It's about bringing peace to the situation, but yeah, I mean, it is. I think that the state of our world right now, the state of our nation, has caused a lot of this. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean this political at all. I just mean pandemic, if anything, pandemical.
Well,
like inflation it's hot topics.
I'll tell you this, and I know we're kind of in the morning rant before we're even into the morning part, but there's a couple things that I think really very quantum things. So number one, the respect factor.
Yeah.
Like the fact that that there is not a way to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest with you. Now, I'm not necessarily in that guy's lane, but the other day I was dealing with a situation that, long story short, the communication that was being brought to me when I brought somebody a company a problem, the communication was, I did it wrong, even though I did exactly what they were describing. Mm-hmm. And when I went to combat that, they tried to talk over me. And I said, it bothered me so. I said, hang on, let me finish.
Yeah.
But at that moment, the lack of respect to hear somebody out, like, bro, like I said, me seeing that guy not being heard out, by the way, who was right.
Yeah. Well, and even like the lady at the front customer service, you won't even let her explain what's happening, because so what happened was the receipt. They just scan an item and it shows whether or not it was on his receipt. It wasn't showing that it was on his receipt. Oh, but he is swearing up and down it was on his receipt. And so at this point, you've got a bad conflict that this person, it's not this person's fault. They're just the scanner. You know what I mean? Like, if you get mad at the technology, you know? And so, like,
maybe well, how about this?
There's not, you know.
Look, to your point, look at the receipt. You tell me if you did it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you did. Do you know my opinion? I don't know this. I would dare say that there is so much, they call it in retail, they call it shrinkage, in the sense that it's lost items, that people that go through the scanner miss things. You know what I'm saying? Because if he went through a line that somebody was scanning for him, it wouldn't have been missed. But people that go, like literally, I have to do that. I have to like really consciously make sure, I did scan that, right? I did, right? Guarantee he probably just missed it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because he didn't pay for it.
No. Yeah. So he has to do, well, actually, I know, some more came out.
Breaking news. Yeah. There's more to the story.
Well, I don't know if he made a phone call or something, because he said he had a large bulk order. So he had several things. I don't know if he was in a building, and he was foreign, and English was his second language, I believe. So there's a little bit of a barrier there. And I know that can definitely heighten more conflict when you feel like you can't understand on both sides, you know. But it ended up being things he purchased at Lowe's.
There you go.
That's another reason. That's another reason why it never pays to be rude, because you might look ridiculous, you know.
Take heed.
Good morning.
Take heed.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like it was a whole big thing, and you know, he did apologize for that, and you know, and that was me. Is like, I'm not going to Karen the situation, get in the middle of it, you know.
Yeah, we don't need any Karens in the situation.
We're going to call a manager right now. But I did feel like, look, you know, you've got your own set of issues. For him to be so quick to say, you know, you just think I'm stealing. Well, I wonder who accused him of that one day and made him that, you know, who knows his story, right? But it never, even if the customer service people were rude, right? Like there's never a reason to not be kind. You know what I'm saying? There's never a reason. Even when you're in your frustration, you can be frustrated and be kind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I am reasonably frustrated. I've said that to people before. I've dealt with frustration where I'm like, listen, I want you to know, I know this is not your fault.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated, but I'm not frustrated at you. You're doing everything that
There's
you
almost
can.
a part of me now hearing that story, like, because again, the conflict, it sounds like, is, to your point, you think I'm a thief.
Yeah.
Without attacking, you've attacked my integrity.
Yeah.
Which I get that.
Yeah.
So there's almost a part of me that like, ooh, I look at that and I'm like, if I'm ever in a situation where there's that odd conflict like that, because it could be anything. Somebody said something, bought something, whatever. In other words, is there so like in that instance, hey, I absolutely believe that you bought this, and we want to find out exactly where that paperwork is for that. I want to ask you a really crazy question. I'm not saying this is the case, but is there any chance that maybe you bought this at a different store?
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know, because again, I know you've bought it, and I'm trying to figure out where, you know, why we wouldn't have the paperwork on it. But is there any like, in other words, is there any? I believe 100% that you didn't do that. Is there any chance that maybe someone thought that's what you meant, and that's why that? You see what I'm saying? Like de-escalate it.
Yeah.
And try to meet them in the middle, in the sense of, hey, maybe there's something neither one of us know.
Yeah.
Could we work can I be on the same side of the table with you? Is there any chance that, you know?
Because looking at it, the two women should have been quick to correct the accusation. Hey, we don't think that you're stealing. We're just trying to get to the bottom of this. You know, like, we don't think. But at the same time, anytime they tried to explain what their system was showing, he wouldn't let them speak.
Yeah.
Which, that's already a very hot issue. You know, yeah. I mean, like, you're dealing with foreign, right? Like, you're dealing with foreign language as the main language on both sides, because as far as he's concerned, you're foreign. You know what I mean? So this is, you know, so you've got a language issue, and then you have the fact that you are a man that keeps telling a woman to stop talking. You know what I mean? Like, that's already a heightened situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Martina's laughed on that.
Like, there is such a hot topic, or there's such a hot button in there's like buttons in that situation where
it's a recipe for disaster.
it's a recipe for disaster. And so, but you know what the way to kind of douse water on the fire is just a little bit of kindness. A little bit of encouragement, a little bit of, you know what I mean? I felt the degrading. I felt it. I could feel it, and I could also feel his frustration. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I don't think there's a single person out there in a conflict like that doesn't deserve some bit of kindness.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But yeah, go spread kindness today. I never posted. I made a video, but I was like, you know, if we're Christians, we're called to be kind. We're called to be a light and salt. Go
light it up.
Season this world with kindness. How about this? Make it a habit to respond with kindness.
Ooh, segue.
Nice. Yes.
Well, Martinez, how are you doing this morning, sir?
Super fantastic. Having a fabulous fortnight of a Friday.
Fortnight of a Friday. You just woke up the teenagers. Just kidding.
Woken up.
I love it. Well, good.
Yeah, it sounds like I got a dilemma there. A little.
Oh, you know, just a little life talk. A little, you know, hey, this happened. And, you know, just interesting how, you know, two stories, kind of similar issues. And it is bad communication because there's no communication. Mm-hmm. And just lacking respect.
Agreed.
Like I am very funny about this idea of respect.
Lack of empathy.
Yeah, like for like help, like
across the board.
Yeah, I want to see your side of this, but please come and see my side of this as well. Mm-hmm. You know, and I do think that. You have to be will, like, even sometimes, like, I'll try to say that to somebody that is the representative of a company. Mm-hmm. I will say, hey, listen, I know you're not the company. In fact, I bet you probably see things as I do too, but you can't do anything about it. So I want you to know I'm not, this is not about you.
Yeah.
It just so happens you happen to be the representative that has to help me convey to the company. So let's talk about this. This is not about you, but this is about your company.
And now granted, I'm not saying in all things you don't get riled up. We talked about this, I think, off of stream. There's a difference in righteous anger. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if that situation would have turned, I don't know, sexist, racist, whatever it may have turned, I would have been the first to speak up very firmly. Hey, you get out. That's not okay. Like, you can't stay here. You need to go. You know, do we need to call security? Like, I would have been the first to have stepped up with him. And I could tell the guy that was behind me, he was listening for it too.
Yeah.
Because it was like, as fired up as he was, you know,
we were just waiting away.
Yeah, exactly. Because you could tell. Yeah, you could tell that he was that angry, and he could have used, you know, anything as an issue. So, that's not what I mean. Absolutely, be the first to firmly say this is not right, you know. But you can still do that because of kindness.
Yeah.
Right. You're doing that in response to, you know.
Cool to be kind.
Two people behind the desk that are doing everything in their power to make sure this person, you know, gets what they need. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, anyways, so today, if I'm not mistaken, we established that we were going to have anyone and everyone that would come to the show and share their hacks, their habits, their routine, things that.
PJ, conflict makes me want to exit. I just saw that. That's great.
Bro, I'm gone.
Yeah, bro, I'm
Bro,
gone.
I'm gone. Yeah, yeah. And you know, that is the unfortunate thing about conflict that people don't understand is, so for instance, there are establishments that the reason that they have to handle that is because if they allow that to go on in their environment and their reputation is known as the place of conflict, your best shoppers go elsewhere because they don't have time for that. I don't want to get in line and get delayed 30 minutes.
It makes me sweat. Like if I see somebody like that, I start sweating. I'm like, I don't even want to be here. I'm like,
That's why, even at church, we've had situations where there's a conflict of, I'll just throw this out here. Are you going to tell me that you're going to ask somebody not to come to church? Absolutely. If they're not respectful, you better believe it, because that one person actually doesn't want to be there. They just don't have anywhere else to be.
Yeah.
So why are you going to come ruin what we're trying to do? Go ruin it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Respect is the foundation of your entrance, and it's the expectation of your attendance. Like movie theaters they're not going to tolerate you. If they let things get out of hand, nobody's going to go watch a movie. If a restaurant can't control the environment, they're going to have to close their doors or just do DoorDash only because nobody's coming.
Yeah.
That's the fact.
Classroom settings. How much
classes? Oh my gosh! Talk about that.
How many teachers have lost the opportunity to teach other students because someone's acting out, or a couple of students?
Absolutely.
It's just better to have them exit the class, go to the office, and let the principal deal with you.
Yeah.
Because there's only a window of opportunity there that you have those people that want to learn in that classroom.
Yeah.
And it's like a 45-minute window or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you can't give any of it to disruption.
Yeah. I agree completely. And but again, that's to your point. Respect has a lot to do with others. It's really not. I mean, you have to respect yourself, but the point is, I respect
every time you say it. I think respect
on The Office.
Nice.
But you said it too, Martinez. Empathy is the idea behind respect. The reason that I can be respectful is because I understand that it's not about me; it's about other people around me.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that is something that is slowly but surely leaving. And I think that's, if anything, that's one of the biggest quantum problems in terms of, you even sometimes you see people families, how they'll talk to each other.
Dude.
And it's well, of course they can't show respect because that my God, they literally obliterate each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're to their thought process, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. This is just what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Respect. She went,
respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
I think of The Office too. R-E-S-P-C-T.
P-C-T. Find out what it means to me.
It's true though. So I was at the end of this episode, guys. I think I'm gonna put it in the comments.
Make plenty for all of us. Yeah. Sorry, I smell the smelling of bacon.
I'm going to put it in the comments at the end of this. We talked about this yesterday, sharing resources for habit building.
Yes.
So I've got a couple of things that I've got in my head that I'll put on the at the end of things.
Fantastic. By the way, where is everybody? Are people on the road?
We got Chris Trimble.
We've got Chris and TJ and Martinez in the house. Where's everybody else at?
Where are my ladies at? I'm outnumbered. Where are my ladies? Maybe they're on there, just can't comment. Your mom is usually always on there, but she's got to work, so she can't comment as much. But yeah.
Well, that's all right. We'll just do all the sharing today.
Yeah, habits, hacks.
Harry.
Let's talk about we're going to share the hacks to build the habits.
Oh, sorry. I thought, okay. Not the preacher hacks.
Not the, yeah. But, anyways, kind of.
Come on! Let's go, Team
Wow!
Trimble. 6 years.
Happy
6 years.
anniversary. Don't you get an itch in a year.
The 7-year itch.
7-year itch.
Don't do it.
I think I got him a back scratcher on our
You got me a
7-year
back
anniversary.
scratcher on our 7th year anniversary for
seven-
being funny.
for the
You're so
7-year.
funny.
Sister Lisa Harless.
Sister Lisa.
She was one of my
How are
school
you?
teachers back in the day.
Uh-huh.
I tell you.
Teach on, teach.
Taught me all I need to know about kindness, I tell you.
My God. Character counts.
Good to see you. I miss you guys. I miss my East Tennessee family. I guess I'll be seeing
Yeah, I
some
was
of
about
them
to say, I think.
at camp.
Yeah, we'll see you at camp.
We have a habit of getting together every year.
On
at
the
camp.
mountain.
Yes, we do. On the mountain. So we'll be listening to sermons on the mountain. One of them being mine. Sorry. I'll be there.
Don't be sorry, you goose.
But yeah, so yeah, anyways, you take this on.
Well,
How do you wanna close this?
The truth is,
These were your words.
give us words. You're already like going there, but if I could recommend, again, one of the best books I've ever read on this subject, because what he did is it's kind of genius, okay? This guy took all of the resources that he learned. In other words, he was exactly where you and I were in the sense of like, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he had a brain injury from a baseball game
Yeah.
that he had to get, what do they call it when you, helicopter air?
This is Atomic Habits, right?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So he actually had some cognitive issues that he had to overcome, and so what he found was he had to create some so to speak the habits that helped him, and like dude just started reading book after book after book and trying things out and doing things, and lo and behold he publishes this book, and honestly, if you're in the personal development like arena or space, this guy, honestly, it's kind of odd. It's almost like
James Clear, by the way.
Yeah, it's James Clear, but it's almost like he's just now catching, like, I don't know what it is about it, but like it's like I read this book, it was awesome, and I never heard as much about it as I'm hearing about it now. Like, I don't know, the dude is just like caught fire. But the book is called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And I think it looks like you've got some nuggets from that just to kind of... Oh, I thought that was some nuggets. Okay, my bad.
Not from that.
But anyways...
It's an older book.
Oh, okay. What? You're so funny.
Bible.
But like, for me, that is like my hack for you is that book. And by the way, if you don't read books... He is on Audible.
Yeah.
And if you're like...
It's actually a great Audible listen. That's how I read it. It's very,
Yes. Hang on. I will say, though, we're... Lonnie Jones. Hey, Brother
Lane.
Jones. What'd I say?
Lonnie.
Just kidding.
We know somebody named Lonnie.
I do. We got Mother Teresa on here. I'm here. I took the day off. My head is pounding and I'm listening. Well,
Bless
hey,
your
good
heart.
morning. But I do hate that you're not feeling. I wonder if there's a bunch of, like, seems like there's...
Her head's pounding.
Oh, sorry.
We'll whisper. I'm kidding.
There's stuff in the air. Stuff in the air.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
it
TJ's
is.
got a hack for us. A hack for me is to listen what the influential people in my life are doing, reading, etc., and apply that to give me a step up I would not have otherwise known about. So for you, TJ, it sounds to me that your hack is that you have kind of created a, lack of a better word, a mentoring community. Influential people in terms of, by the way, could you follow up for me? What makes you define that criteria? So what is an influential person to you? Because I think that's an interesting concept that you're talking about. I do the same thing. Like, there are a handful of people that have, and for me, they are influential to many, many, many people. But most importantly, they have influenced me. I have made a connection with them, right? Like he said, it depends on the area. So maybe, I don't know, maybe give us like, what are some of the areas of influence that I would love to know this, because by you sharing your methodology, I think we're going to learn a little bit about what that is.
You know, it's funny. I've actually, we talked about this the other day. There are people that have influenced me in a positive way.
Yeah.
That I feel like in terms of like values in life, I don't know that we would get along necessarily.
Oh, for sure.
But they have influenced
me.
Like there are people that in a business setting, I feel so influenced by what they have shared. However, on a faith setting or just a day-to-day life thing,
even just personality.
Personality. I don't think that we would be buds, you know. But I was able to glean from them something. You know what I'm saying? Like something influential, because they're clearly doing something successful, and I love it, you know. But then there are other people. A lot of times it's the faith-based things. A lot of times where I'm like, I want to have a cup of coffee with you. You know what I mean? Like you could just feel that energy. But
Lisa Harper, if you're out there, my wife wants to take you out for
coffee.
lunch, coffee, whatever you're willing.
I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Lisa Harper, but she's awesome. Like, anytime I hear that she's speaking
and she
somewhere,
lives here in Franklin.
She does, yeah. Not here in Franklin.
We're not in Franklin. I'm saying in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
We don't say where we're from.
We
also don't give our numbers out.
Away. Listen, to this day, it's one of the greatest, funniest moments. The fact that you thought, like, because you got to understand, Brittany is a very, 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 understandably and
reclusive,
wisely private person.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And you're very wise about that. Like, it's not like one of those, like, it's not that you're closed off, but you are concise. It's very, you know.
It's true. Who you see in a regular basis, that's me. That's who I am. But at the same time, there is I am me.
I need the space to
capacity.
Be me.
Yeah. But at the same time, like in order to give my family what they need out of me, the energy that they need and that thing, Absolutely. It requires those boundaries for me. And so I set them, I set that privacy boundary a little bit. And that's not to say that there's not any, like most people, especially on Facebook here, most people can text me. Like they have my number. But, you know, in terms of strangers.
Yeah, but like just putting it out there on the internet. Like you're not like, I'm going to write my number everywhere so somebody, I'm waiting on your call.
Yeah, I'm open for everyone.
I am not waiting on your call.
No, I'm not waiting. At all. I don't know you.
But okay, we got some comments coming in here now. Okay, fantastic. Mark, good morning. Glad you're with us. He was pitching batting practice. Oh, okay, man. Enjoying that sun. Let's go.
Good practice and habits.
TJ says, for example, some are influential over all areas and others in specific themes.
That was what I was, there are people,
Oh, he's adding, okay. It's tied to the level of trust. Oh, that's interesting. Their experiences and what I've seen from them. For example, Pastor and you all, anything you told me. Others, it would be limited to technology or their successful field. And TJ said, I'm the president of Recluse Anonymous. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
He's very, so gleaning specific things.
Well, and I think that's a good hack because, for instance, when it comes to mentorship, okay? So number one, mentorship doesn't always have to be relationship. That's why, like a book, if somebody has been generous enough to take the time to do a hard activity like writing a book, sharing what they know to mentor people through that book, the least I could do is read that book. If that is, again, somebody that I, number one, maybe I trust them. I'm intrigued by their success and experiences. And I have a feeling that what they have to say is helpful. Okay.
Yeah.
Like the whole book reading, like I'm telling you.
You have to ask yourself too, because this is the case for anything. What is their agenda? Everybody has an agenda, right? Like what's the thing that they're pushing, right? Are they pushing, are they, somebody that talks about business, but in business really pushes atheism. You know what I'm saying? Like somehow, like they're very vocal about, maybe that's not your cup of tea. Maybe that's not, like I don't want to be around somebody that keeps pushing an agenda that I don't agree with. So I don't take that in. There's plenty of other content out there that'll get me from point A to point
Right.
B that I don't have to spit out that many bones.
Right.
But at the same time, I have said this multiple times on the show. I glean a lot from Mel Robbins. She is a great like self-development, self-affirming kind of life coach. She does a great job at kind of finding confidence in yourself. However, she is not Bible-based and, has said she's not Bible-based. But it's so interesting because I've had people tell me before, if it's not the Bible, I'm not going to read it. Well, I think you're really missing out on a great opportunity to get content. I would never read something that directly contradicts the Bible. I'm not into that sort of thing. However, it's amazing to me how much I've read in Mel Robbins' content that affirms the Word of God. She just kind of doesn't know it.
Can I go somewhere?
You just got really excited about that. I could tell.
Okay.
You squirmed. It was like, ooh. This
All
is
right, because I want to share with you, like, for instance, to your point, when you read things, the question is, oh, I like that, but does it align to the Bible? But to your point, the principles that God has established through His Word and in His Word are, like, for instance, you don't even have to believe it, and it's going to work for you because it's a principle. And because principles are truth, okay? And I learned the craziest hack the other day from a mentor, okay? We're going to get a little nerdy for a second, okay? A little nerdy, okay? If you know anything about the Bible in the sense that numbers have significant meanings, okay? Take that or leave that, okay? But in the Bible, the number 9 is synonymous. It's the number for truth, okay? So I want you to do a quick little exercise, okay?
Oh my God.
All right, Martinez, why don't you do this in your head? Okay, and I'm going to do it simple. I'm going to do it very, very simple.
And this could be something you could rewind and do later.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like after the show, if you need a pen and paper.
I want you to take the number 55, right? 5. That's 55. You tracking?
Can't try.
What's 5 plus 5?
10.
10. So I want you to take 55 minus 10.
45.
4 plus 5 is?
9.
Okay, now let's do this all over again. What is, let's take 38. What's 3 plus 8?
41.
3 plus 8.
Oh, 3 plus 8, 11.
11, okay. So 38 minus 11 is?
27.
2 plus 7 is?
9.
9. So two absolute opposite numbers using the same principle got you 9. Did you know if you do that all over the place, you're going to get 9 every single time? Or a multiple of 9? Because numbers don't lie. Numbers follow principles. And no matter how you work that, as long as you follow that principle, guess what? You wind up at 9, which is the number for truth. You may not like it. You may not like it. You may not even believe in the number 9. But that's what you're going to find. That's the Word of God.
18 plus 2 is 20. And now what do I do? Minus 7? What do I do?
Give me a number again. Give me that number.
18.
18?
Plus 2. I'm just
So 18. So 1 plus 8 is 9. 18 minus 9 is?
I need a calculator. Yeah. Notice he went to Martinez for the numbers and not me.
I did this with Brittany
I
the other
walked away
night.
halfway through
And
it.
I gave her a pen, paper, and her phone, and she said,
No. I'm good.
I'm not doing this.
Let me tell you a good math problem. Let me tell you about 3 and 1. Woo! Let me tell you about that one.
Okay, let's do something simple. Okay. Let's just do 12. 1 plus 2 is?
12 plus 2?
1 plus 2.
So that's how you get the 12. You do 1 plus 2 after that.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Start with the
12
number
plus 2.
12. Okay. So the number, you add the digits together. 1 plus 2, because that's 1 and 2 is 12, right? 1 plus 2 is?
3.
So 12 minus 3 is?
Oh. God, 9.
9.
Oh, okay, I see what you're doing. Oh, yeah. I see it.
It's true.
So the point is, the interesting thing about that is, again, whether you believe in the fact that numbers mean anything, it's a God thing. And the fact that you are getting truth out of a vessel that is, doesn't believe in God. If you pull it to the Bible, the reason that it works and the reason that it's true is because it's found in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's not because somebody said something or had an epiphany. No, they just figured out what God already put in place.
Yeah, like, for instance, Mel Robbins is a huge idea, is saying, hey, you're built to withstand things, right? Like, you're built to be okay. You're the kind of person, you need to value who you are. You need to look at yourself and, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I can do that thing, right? Like, you can reprogram your brain. You can be a better version of who you are. All of that's in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that, taking all thoughts captive, right? Thinking of yourself in a positive way. Before you were formed in the womb, I knew you. Like, I'm going to tell you how much I love you. Let me tell you how much it's all, even though she's not Christian based, it's in the Bible.
Well, check this out. Look at corporate America. Like, their way of indoctrinating, or what I consider getting their product out.
Yeah.
They would they have a base and they get everybody together and they say, hey, go knock on doors. Mm-hmm. Go talk to the pharmaceutical industry. We would meet up. They were like, go knock on doctors' offices. Tell them about our product. Team up if you need to. And in fact, we prefer you team up, be two of you knocking at the door and basically sharing the good news of pharmaceuticals, using our product. They probably won't give it the Bible credit, but Jesus started that years ago. With the 12 apostles getting out the gospel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and the number of 2, what they use, Noah, being told to get, 2 animals, a male and a female. I mean, corporate America has mimicked their growth strategy of the blueprint of the gospel getting out. Period. I'm confident of that. They won't give them credit, but it's a principle that works, and it'll work to the end of the time. And it came from the Bible, in my opinion.
That's the whole, exactly. That's the premise. Whether people want to give it credit or not, it was there, and it is there, and it will be there. And the reason that it works is because it's a principle, and principles, y'all are going to like this, because when I heard it, I went, dang, that's good. Principles are God's automation.
I like that.
Man, I'm hungry. Have you sown anything?
Principles are God's automation.
Have you harvested anything? Have you planted? I gave you a principle of the seed. Whatsoever is sown,
The question is, like, when you say you're hungry, the question is, how hungry are you? Because, and then are you just hungry for today? Or are you hungry for a lifetime?
Yeah.
Are you hungry for your longevity, for the generation, for your bloodline? Because if you're hungry for you versus hungry enough for your bloodline, will make a difference as to how much you dig into God's principles and automation.
Yeah.
Because, what was that scripture where the prophet told someone, he's like, listen, take an arrow and throw it into the ground.
Yeah.
So he only did it like a couple of times.
Yeah.
And the prophet was really upset at him. He's like, you should have did it like multiple times because you would have received even more blessings from God. You know, I forget what that was. TJ probably would know.
He's typing it right now.
To that point, TJ said John Maxwell also said everything I teach is from the Bible. I just don't tell them till they're ready.
Absolutely.
It is biblical principles work, no matter how you package it.
Well, let me throw this out here as a target, as a strategy, right? So we're talking tactical. Let's move up a level. Go strategy. What if you made it a habit of programming biblical principles as your automatic self? Like, in other words, what if the things that you did were so richly rooted in the principles that God has established for your life? Imagine the harvest that would be of your life.
You know, they've explained scientifically to that point how an animal is killed, and then you eat that animal will determine what you take in. So, like, if an animal is killed in distress,
it releases cortisol.
Yeah,
because
it's trying to survive. It's panicking, and then you eat that meat from that animal. That chemical is in.
That cortisol hormone gets into, and that is literally there for you.
Yeah.
To
I mean,
to put you in an anxious state.
Yeah. Basically what you're eating. You know, if your animals are not well cared for and they are mistreated and harmed, and then how you eat them, you know, God teaches us to respect all creatures, you know, in that regard. Look at what they do to chickens, for instance. And they're raised, they're fattened up in dark rooms. They can't, you know what I mean? Like, it's this, they kind of grow, they eat more because they're depressed, because there's no light and that kind of stuff. And then you're taking in that, you know, and then you wonder why things like this. But to that point, it all lines up with the Bible, you know. And then they've also proven that if you were to follow the Old Testament way of eating, what is that called?
The Levitical diet.
Yeah, if you follow the Leviticus diet, it's known to.
It literally said don't eat meat from an animal that was strangled.
Yeah.
In other words, it was in a state
of
panic in the moment of its death. So those hormones that were released trying to, speaking of animals, where did he come from? Where did Rowdy come from? We don't own a dog. I just want you to know why this is weird.
We have joint custody.
I mean, yeah, he is.
We get him on the weekends.
Yeah.
So.
Hi, Rowdy.
But yeah.
So the idea is God was saying, hey, look, because of that principle of how that body, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't like it's very
even the
interesting,
different
those
types
kinds
of
little
animals
things
that you weren't supposed to eat, like, for instance, pork. Pigs cannot, they don't have sweat glands, so they can't excrete the toxins that are in their body. You know, not to get like super nerdy. It's just a long way of saying the Bible, you know, I'm not saying you have to follow those things, right? Like New Testament, it's not that the law was done away with, but it was fulfilled, and there's a different path now that is fulfilled of that. But I will say it is interesting how it affirms. The Bible will always be affirmed in that regard. It's just amazing that something so, you know. And I know, and listen to me, people are on this kick too. I know that, you know, people are like, the Bible you're reading is not really the Bible. It's been overly translated to the point that it's not even, you know, this is the Word of God that has been kept by God as much as it has. You know what I'm saying? And so what it is one of the best kept records as long as it is in history, you know. And so it's amazing how the more you read it, the more, you know, researchers develop things that fall right in line with the Bible. You know, it's pretty phenomenal. But we've nerded out this we've nerded out this hour.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Anybody else got some hacks, like a quick hack, quick one-liner, quick whatever you want to share? We got 5 more minutes. Which, can we just acknowledge Mark's comment a minute ago? That was hilarious.
I was told there would be no math. That was hilarious.
That was
Me
funny.
too.
Kind of lining up with what you were all saying, as far as one of my greatest hacks is the hacks, the multiple hacks you can get out of the book of Proverbs.
Yeah.
The habit of not being a slave to a lender. You know, the habit of not being enticed by strange women. You know, the habit of being diligent in your work. The habit of, if it's in your power to be kind, to give that person who is due kindness or due reward. If it's in your power, don't send them off and tell them to come again another day. You do it if it's in your power to do. You know, there's all kind of hacks in there, like habits you can pick up.
You know, Martinez, you just reminded me of a hack that I was told, and I forgot about it. And you know what? I need to do it. A very, very successful businessman who's a believer, he told me that for years now, a habit that he has is every month he will read through the entire book of Proverbs. Every month, chapter a day.
I was going to say Proverbs is the habits, hacks, and routines of the
No,
Bible.
yeah,
It's such
right.
a great,
Proverbs is absolutely the hack of life. I mean, to your point, Jason.
The hack of
31
life.
chapters.
The hack of life.
Yeah. 31 chapters.
31 days.
You take the good, forget the bad.
And I tell you, it and if you read them enough, they actually somewhat repeat themselves in a different way, But it's like, the habit of not being a co-signer on someone else's loan, the habit of just being wise or using kind words to turn away wrath. I mean, it's just got all kind of habits and hacks in it,
Yeah. So I put on there a couple of hacks that we have lived our life by. So we love Atomic Habits. We also shared the porn prognosis yesterday. That's a great resource in terms of negative habits. We love Herbalife. We do Herbalife. We do loaded teas and shakes and things like that. So if you're interested in some sort of health journey, message Jason about it because he can get you hooked up.
Not Brittany because she's secluded.
I'm secluded. Yeah, I'm secluded. And then also, if you need Jesus, I put Point of Mercy on there. So listen to me though, key point, if you don't have a local church, don't leave your local church and come to ours.
We are not the point of proselyte.
No, we are not. Man, it's woo. So yeah, if you're needing a local church because you don't have one,
dude, that's funny.
But at the same time, connect with us there. We love connecting. But yeah, so those are just a few resources that I kind of thought of that if it interests you, check it out. If not, there's no big deal, no pressure. But yeah. Those are some things that have changed our personal lives. Honestly, I mean, the porn prognosis, I just put that in there. But Atomic Habits, Herbalife, and church. Habits, health, and church.
Habits, health, and Holy Ghost. That's next week. Habits, health, and Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost.
I will say though, and I talked to Jason about this to share, and I can do this with closing thoughts. Something interesting that has kind of hit me in terms of with health, and if you're into this, if you've been thinking about your health journey, listen up. If not, I don't know, you can turn us off. That's fine. But I'm personally wanting to kickstart my own health journey. We should do like a group or something, like a health group or something.
Let's do a challenge.
Let's do a challenge. Hey, would anybody be willing to do a challenge?
We'll get back from camp and I'll run a challenge.
Yes, let's do this challenge.
Because the kitchen is saying yes.
Let me tell you why, though. Let me tell you my why, okay? And see if this could resonate with anybody out there in the World Wide Web. Yeah. So I've reached a point in my life that I've worked very hard on accepting who I am, right? Like I accept myself unconditionally right now. But it's okay to love who you are, but also at the same time, never get complacent, right? Always want to be bettering yourself. So I'm comfortable with who I am. I don't want to go on a health journey because once I lose the weight, I'll think more of myself. I don't want to be that kind of person, and you shouldn't be that kind of person, right? You need to think yourself capable now, right? Don't wait till you get to that job. Don't wait till you get to that paycheck that makes that much money. Don't wait till you get to that goal weight, right? Love who you are right now, right? Go ahead and make that your first habit. Is believing yourself capable of greatness now. But for me, in my job, in my parenting, in my life, this is an efficiency thing for me. I have found that the lack of purposeful, I don't want to say it's not athleticism, but it's just being active, right? But purposefully, right? I have an active job. But that's not the same thing. I want to do more things that are being active, right? Walking, riding a bike, doing exercises. I want to be purposeful in that.
Let me say this, okay? Because I will say,
Teresa's in. Yes.
Mother Teresa.
This is happening.
Yeah, we'll put this together. This is like, I fundamentally believe this, okay? If people felt better, they would do better.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, people don't like doing because they know it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, I found out a long time ago, you don't have to hurt to get to the place where you want to be. The truth of the matter is, you have to make a decision that you want to be the kind of person that lives a healthy, active lifestyle. Because, like, for instance, one thing that I have discovered based on my last 3 years versus my high school years is, and even my middle 20s, if I'm being honest, I remember working out and things like that and hurting. You know what I'm saying? The next day, like,
hurting yourself, yeah.
In my 30s, I recover way better than I did in my teens and 20s. And I know why that works. Like, there are principles that I've put into place, and maybe that's what I'll do with this challenge. Is it's not just, hey, here's what we're going to do, and I want you if y'all want to, I'll actually teach you some of these principles that actually helps you to be the person that has what it is that you want. And that is, I believe, hopefully, you want to feel better.
Don't be
If you feel like crap,
yes,
let me help you.
And you could argue, well, you're in your 30s and I'm in my 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever. The man plays ball with men in their 60s that have the same story.
Absolutely.
I recover better now than I ever did when I was younger. You know, so yeah, the formula works. But here's the thing for me, if this resonates with you, let's do this. This is about efficiency. I don't want to be winded when I play with my kids. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hobble in the house. Mark's going to fill me on this list. After I'm working in my garage shop. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to yawn.
Yeah, I don't want to yawn. Yeah. So, like, it's one of the, you know, it's so funny, though. I haven't had a yawning issue. I didn't yawn this morning. Yeah. Our air quality thing has lifted.
Oh, so you're breathing better.
I wonder.
Interesting.
I wonder. But yeah. So, anyways, it's for me. It's an efficiency thing. I want to feel better about I want to feel better so that I can do better, right? So, yeah, I would encourage you, go ahead and think yourself capable of this. This challenge has nothing to do with once I'm done with this, I'll feel better about myself. You need to enter in whatever challenge you do in life, knowing that you're capable of finishing it and you're capable of keeping it up. Don't wait to give yourself affirmation. Never wait to give yourself encouragement. Give yourself encouragement now, because that will be the push that gets you through. Not motivation, encouragement. Because motivation's never there when you need it.
I love what both of you all are saying. And, they are, I think people look at health kind of like the way they study for tests, instead of or study for exams. Instead of studying a little bit every day, they'll just wait till 3 months before, they'll wait for 3 months when the teacher says, hey, there's going to be an exam at the end of 3 months, and 2 days before the exam, they cram.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you
and
just
they stress
yeah.
themselves out.
Mm-hmm.
They stress themselves out, and then and it's painful.
Yeah.
It's really taxing.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like if they just study each day for the next 3 months. When the teacher says, "Hey, there's going to be a pop quiz or there's going to be an exam, a final exam," they'll be ready for the final exam. They'll be more ready for the pop quiz. And as it relates to the pop quiz, I look at it like this: it's like the importance of just doing something every day is important because I say it like this. One of these days, and we don't know what day it's going to be, your body is going to need you to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of these days, your body is going to need you to show up, and when it requires you to show up, you better be ready.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you talking about, Martinez? Well, little stuff like, hey, you might be trying to catch a plane late to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to run the entire, to get to the gate. You know what I mean? Or jog to the gate with your luggage. Your body's needing you. You might run out of gas. And you might have to walk another half mile or in the heat or what. You might lock your keys yourself out of your house. Yeah. You might have to jump on the roof somehow. Your body's going to need you. One of these days, your body's going to need you to show up. You know?
Yeah.
And when it does, you better be. You should be ready.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
Life, listen to me, health journey and life journey. It's done with little habits every day, right? And we want to help together. Like the topic's over with this week, but we don't want the concept to be done. So together, because actually it's been scientifically proven that your brain, you get smarter when you work together. Mm-hmm. Scientific fact check me. Yeah. Absolutely. So together, we're going to do this one habit at a time. We're going to learn how to hack each habit to make it doable. And before you know it, it just becomes a routine. Just like that. So, yeah, let's do this together.
Let's do it.
We'll post it. It'll be sometime in July, right? I'm
yeah,
just going to go ahead and take it over.
Let's get back from
By the way, you're spearheading this. I have nothing to do. I am literally
she just signed me up for a challenge.
Student, but I just
let me ask you something.
Forced him into this.
Do you like, in other words, you're saying this, will this help you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because that's what matters. If this will help people, I'd be happy to do this.
Yeah, this is about making you more efficient. Yeah. I want to be more efficient in my life. So, yeah. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Go to church. If you already have a church, go to your church. But if you don't have a church, come to our church. We would love you to be there,
I love it. Everyone, have a great Friday. We'll see you Monday.